Hey everyone, how you doing today? Thought I would show you some update progress on the refit of the Cerberus PSV. Now this is the old one here. I just wanted to have you look at this a minute and I'll show you all the changes made on the other one. Now I was working on some videos of showing some of these changes, but I kept on getting interrupted a lot, and then of course the videos would take a long time and whatnot. So I don't really have a more construction video to show you unless I wanted to break it all down and whatnot. But I just wanted to kind of show you the updates on this video. I am kind of running into limited time again too. But okay, so there's that. Now here is the what's been done so far to the same ship. So I just basically I've kind of finished up a lot of, well, I'll say finished beyond final detailing. A lot of the body work on the top of the ship over here. Redoing the glass. You'd be amazed at the amount of blocks that have changed from the original ship. I'm trying to get rid of that blocky look, getting more depth into all areas of it as I'm going through here. Now, and I did modify the bridge some more since the first video I did. I rounded the glass off a bit more on the front. I don't know if this is finalized or not yet. I still kind of like this open glass here because of the view that you get when sitting in the cockpit. You can kind of see the ground nicely, in front of you at least. And on this one, at least currently where I have the bridge, I'm trying to get that look again where you can see the ground nicely, although I expect this pilot seat to be moved forward when I do it. Now, all the things that I've been doing on the ship too is I redid the legs, or the front legs right now. The original front legs, I had two large strafing thrusters and only had one large lift thruster and one reverse thruster, well, per leg. And it had some little thrusters in here, like on the back legs and the front legs, like over here, like giving it some more like forward thrust and stuff like that. But I wanted to get rid of those because technically they're blocked. Even though it's a long distance before they get blocked, they're still technically blocked. So what I did here is I changed the side strafing thrusters. I actually reduced the strafing thrusters by 2 large to 1 large and 2 medium, but I doubled the reverse thrust. I run it 2 large that way, and I doubled the lift thrust by adding 2 over here on the bottom. So I mean, this was really reconfigured a lot with the thrusters that are in there. With the down thrust, I added 2 new ones over on the sides here, and I expanded out this one by 1 from the original, but I got rid of 2 that were back in this section over here. So a lot of changes like that. Basically, my goal is this thing's going to need a lot more lift thrust than what the original had. So the original had 4 large lift thrusters. This one's going to have 8, so it'll be matching that of the Skaar Raider, which also has 8 lift thrusters. And that when you start getting in, you know, several 320k storage bins and it's full, plus the weight of the ship with weights and volumes, you're going to want that lift thrust. So that is the deal with that. I plan on probably keeping the forward thrust about the same as what it is now, probably 4 large forward thrusters, but now it will be matched by 4 large reverse thrusters as well. So you can stop a little bit more. As in strafing, that's usually the thing that I'm least, well, besides down thrust, strafing thrust is something I'm not as concerned with. It's possible, though, that I might try to get some strafing thrust back here. What I'm trying to do is, nice thing about a leg ship like this, where the legs are kind of out, at these different angles. It's allowing me to get the thrusters away from the interior, and they also work better further away from the center of mass. So the legs are basically a good opportunity to stick in an awful lot of thrusters and keep that away from the inside of the ship. Now I did carve out this top section here, and you can see the original just had some fluff, a couple antennas sticking out of the wall over here. I actually, at first, I set this up to hold another large thruster over here, and it's got enough room for it, but and I was like, well, you know, I could actually put that down over here and save this space too. So, but then what do I put back in here is the question. Now, because it's Skaar are very aggressive. Well, they're into guns, you know. They're into raiding and pirating and everything like that. So the more guns, the merrier. As the raider kind of shows that too. That thing is just chock full of guns everywhere. This one will probably get more guns than it originally had. Now, I definitely like these front mounts over here, and I don't really want to change that. I like where these, where a couple of the big gun positions are, but then it only has 2 rocket launchers. So I was thinking about maybe changing this around a little bit so I could get more launchers on here. Game rules allows you to have 6 of the pulse launchers and 4 rocket launchers. This was running 4 of those and 2 of these. So maybe I will change things around and maybe try to dump a couple more guns over here as well. Now, one of the last things I did too is I was, oh, it's not quite fully finished there, but well, it is on the other side. Let me show you the side that textured properly. As I rebuilt these side pieces here that held a couple turrets. Don't even know. Oh, originally looked like this. I wanted the same effect, but I also wanted to try to center that better over the hangar door, and that's kind of what I did here. Is now it is centered over the hangar door, has the same 2 turrets, and what I'm probably going to do too is remove this spotlight here and probably dump that over probably in the block right there. Speaking of these textures here, this is basically from one side to the other in symmetry, things that just don't texture right from on the 2 sides. So what did I actually put here? I think I did that. Oh, and 2 more of those. And that didn't texture either. Okay. And then after a lot of this too, I'll try to get some more little detail things added to the ship. I did a little bit of that already, but I'll still keep on messing with it. Basically, I want to have it pretty detailed. Now on the last video too, I was talking a lot about like aerodynamics and the blocky look, and it was brought up that well, the Skaar are kind of, you know, they're more like pieces together, and you know, like they're not really like trying to be super aerodynamic and sleek and stuff, and that is true, but I like to start with that. Like even on the Raider, I wish I had older versions to show you, but a lot of this choppiness wasn't there. It was a very smooth body to start with, and then when I started adding in all the turrets and all this other stuff, I just started just cutting into the smooth body, and it made it look a lot choppier, which I didn't mind. And not to mention I put in an awful lot of guns and weapons and other things in the process. But that's kind of how it started, and that's kind of what I'm doing with the Cerberus as well. It's I mean, it's a different ship entirely, but I'm trying to keep it, you know, aerodynamic, looking smooth, but also it's choppy. Like there's just things sticking out, like these big gun things over here and all this stuff over here. A lot of this was manipulated a bunch too on the bottom area, and on the sides here. Lighting down here kind of sucks, and I did not do the center section here yet, but kind of see how it used to look. A lot of this kind of stuff here, like this big block here that's facing forward, that's gone on the new one. All these areas here that were pretty flat got changed with different sections of blocks that kind of go at kind of stick out a little bit from the sides, and some different curve angles, quite a few of them actually around there, but just trying to get that, you know, so it doesn't look as blocky basically. And it looks pretty ragged. The textures that I'm using on a ship like this are pretty ragged. There's some missing textures, and it's certainly not fully detailed either. In fact, this side here is probably the side that looks, I don't know. I was working on this side, and when you mirror things, they don't exactly translate the same. Oh, another big change too, on the sides over here, I did say I wanted to convert this angle to a 22.5, which I have done on both the front and the back now. Now the original one in the same area looked like this here. And you know, when I go back and I look at this ship, to me it looks totally unfinished now. I guess compared to all the stuff, you know, learned and all the new stuff in the game and stuff, it's just like, oh wow, I didn't texture this ship, and I didn't refine the body, and I didn't do any of that here. And well, the new one definitely is getting a lot of that done, and it's going to take a little bit of time. I probably put another, I guess about 6 hours into working on this ship since the last video to get it to where it's at. But yeah, I'm pretty happy, and I made it through the front legs. I didn't know exactly what to do because I didn't really want to do what I did with the Cerberus NG, and I totally rebuilt the front legs on this one with a different design. But this ship was trying to look fancier, and this ship is trying to look cruder. So it's kind of like a backwards thinking on it. You know, and not to mention, you know, this ship is smaller than the NG. Now the NG, if you take a look at this one, it is quite a bit wider, and even just taking a look at the flight deck in comparison, it's a lot bigger flight deck on this one. But the NG had so much space in it. Here, can we turn this on? Oh, it probably won't even, it won't turn on, will it? No, it doesn't have CPU blocks. Well, anyway, you can tell the hangar in this one was jumped up to a double deck hangar. It's way wider. Unfortunately, this ship was done before those weights and volumes and the new CPU and the new storage system, so everything on this one is dated as well, and the NG really needs a upgrade. But I wouldn't do what I'm trying to do with this, with the original, convert it to different faction or whatnot. But I will look into getting this one updated. I don't think it would take a huge amount. It would just need new storage and tier blocks and a spot for a shield, or a shield just installed in it. And this thing, if I remember correctly, had a pretty big engineering area with a lot of room to add stuff. So not too worried about that. And why I wanted to do the body first on this one too is because I'm manipulating all the thrusters, and whatever power requirements it would have needed stock is going to change due to all these changes in it. So, you know, maybe this would, rather than having like 4 or 6 little medium generators, it would have like one large one. I'm not sure yet. I guess it depends how much power it's going to need in the end. But yeah, I'm really trying to keep it very true to the original though too. Like, you know, there was a window here before, there's a window here now. Same thing over here. I do like these new windows better. I think they look a little bit better. And this type of glass I think has more hit points than standard glass. 1500 on one of those versus 1000 on one of these. So yes, they do have more hit points as well. And they're smaller, like these are 2 blocks wide, so you're only getting 1,000 hit points between the 2 block area, or you're getting 1,500 per block on the other windows. Well, anyway, I just wanted to show you where I'm at and how things are coming along, and apologize for not having more build videos. I worked on a couple, and then when I was doing them, I just kept getting interrupted with one thing or another, and phone would ring, and someone would stop at the front door trying to sell something, and I was just like, oh man, just leave me alone for a little bit. But anyway, there you go. It's coming along. I'm going to keep on banging away at this. Now I've got a bunch of other Skaar stuff, and I'll be releasing something again this Sunday. I'm not sure exactly what yet. I would like to get one of those unfinished SVs finished as well, which are lacking interiors. It'd be something nice to maybe use in the live stream with Xcal 2. He did suggest that he wanted to use a heavy tank that he's got. And then to pick my favorite, like tier 4 heavy end SV, and I'm just thinking right now, I'm in such disarray with my SVs. I don't really have that favorite right now because I didn't really build anything for the Skaar yet. Well, I did, but I just haven't finished them. And then what would I really want for a tier 4 heavy SV that's for POI combat? And I'm not sure. Nothing that I really have functioning right now, I think. The older MX, larger POI type, ships to go against are all fail on CPU now. So that'd be like the MX-12 and 15 and 18. All of those are just too much CPU. And then the newer ones I built aren't as big or as powerful as they could be at tier 4, because I didn't exactly know what I could do or not do when building them. And I have a better idea now that I could scale up an SV some again and try to get it in that ballpark there. But SVs attacking POIs they work, and it depends how tough the POI is, but I can say if the POI is running human turrets, and a lot of them, that the shield on the SV drops so unbelievably fast that it's really hard to do much damage to a tough POI with an SV. I mean, if you're combined forces with more than one player at a time, and you're all doing your thing, that would certainly be helpful. But to make one tough, nice looking combat SV that would use the full potential of tier 4, I haven't done yet. So that is something I do want to make. Something that would probably be more doubled up on, or doubled, tripled, quadrupled on at least front armor or areas like that. You can't just go crazy though if you want to have it CPU compliant. If you go too much, it's going to be too slow. And if you don't do enough, then you're not getting as much protection as you could have. Like the latest bigger SV that I did release was the Merc MX-11, and it's not a very big SV really. Let me just spawn that for reference here in a minute. Or I could take a look at the other one too, but well, let's just get the original here. So Merc MX-11. So this was the newest one, and it didn't start out as, I was trying to build something else when I first started this, but this one doesn't even touch 20,000 CPU that's left over on it. So that tells me, even though this has a fair amount of guns and weapons and other things on it, that it could be bigger and it could be tougher. And this thing was has massive front thrust, but is kind of weak on side thrust, which is a problem. So essentially a new design, I think, would be the biggest thing that I would want to accomplish in all this, is figuring out exactly how big and how tough can I make SV without like blowing the CPU on it, and I know I can make it probably about 20% bigger than this one, and make it move probably a little bit better too. So that is another future project. I don't know if any of those existing Skaar SVs that I started will meet the bill for that, because they seem like they're not quite big enough or tough enough for that specific role. There's other roles they could do, but not being like the POI busting SV. And that's really what I need in the arsenal, is a POI busting tough excuse me, tough SV. All right, well, anyway, you guys have yourself a nice day, and I will talk to you on the next video. See you later.